Hello, everybody. Welcome to the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers podcast. You're here for another installment of Self-Care Doula with Anna, which we used to call Chair Yoga with Anna, but now it's just a slow flow, amazing midweek reset. So we welcome you. This class is for anybody who would like to enjoy a 45-minute yoga practice. We are going to do a 45-minute class today because we realize not everybody has a full hour in the middle of the day. So welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for bringing your practice to PCSM.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's so wonderful to be back. I feel so much better. My energy is up. It's the beginning of the year. Well, now we're going into the mid-month. It's moving quickly, but yeah, I feel great. I always feel great. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to blame the 80s music that I was listening to over here. I just know that as soon as I walk in here, it just feels wonderful. So I'm so grateful to be here to lead a reset for you all.
Another thing, Anna, that I just want to mention is that I'm here with Jody, our 420 RN, and every single Wednesday at 63 Washington Street, you can come down and get the advice of an RN. If you are struggling with how to use plant medicine and integrate it into your everyday life, Jody is an amazing resource. So 11 to 6 every Wednesday, come down and this is our education and resource center. I quickly just wanted to show off our little lounge back here. Shout out to Keith Pierce for helping me organize our little library. And yeah, we just have this kind of safe and sacred place for healing. And I know that this might be a little choppy, but bear with me. I'll go slow. Panoramic. Yeah, I'm channeling my inner grandma back here with the decor, but trust me, it's nice and cozy. So come on down this weekend, check out Soul Saturday and see the church in action and get your dancing shoes. But without further ado, let's yoga.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you. So we're going to just be getting seated today. You can also choose to sit in a chair or sit on a mat with your legs crossed. So because this is a midweek reset, I don't use a lot of props in this practice. I do have my yoga blocks because sometimes I refer to certain modifications, but this class is for all levels. And if you've been practicing chair with us, basically, if you've been practicing with us, you already probably have a practice. But if you're beginning, that's awesome too, and wonderful that you're here to just begin with a simple practice. So sitting in a chair or on a mat, we're going to be getting up and off the mat as well. So if you have a chair yoga practice, modify as you know your body best, and everybody knows their body best. So I recommend that you listen to your bodies, and that if something doesn't feel good to you, don't push yourself. Here in this space, we practice with compassion, and we cultivate this compassion through our own self-care practices. So I'm here to support your self-care, and I'm so proud and so excited to be here to provide that for you. So sitting in Sukhasana, relaxing the hands, happy easy pose, and relaxing the hands on the lap. If you're seated, just gently, all of us reaching the crown towards the sky. I'm inviting you to soften your gaze or close your eyes. And begin to settle into the natural rhythm of your breath. I will say here that if you've never practiced chair yoga and you would like to, you can always go to our YouTube page where you will find lots of different practices on a chair that can guide you to practice more often and join us here with your own practice as well. What we're doing here is accessing a place of stillness. As I guide you, I'm also guiding myself because in stepping into a room, coming out from work, let's say you're coming in from work and you're coming into this reset, your mind is going to feel bouncy, your breath is going to feel fast, your heart rate is up, maybe. Mine is. But with the breath, we begin to settle the heart rate. We begin to calm the mind. As you settle into the natural rhythm of your breath, begin to inhale deeply into the belly, expanding the belly like a balloon. And as you exhale, letting the belly fall, chest will follow. Taking a nice deep inhale, filling the belly. Slow exhale out, letting the belly fall. Continue in this rhythm. And you'll notice if your to-do list comes into your mind, or you might be thinking about the next thing you have to do, and that's okay. Those thoughts are going to come in, but come back to your breath. That's why your breath is there, consistent and always there for you. You can watch all those thoughts float away as you access your breath. As in all my classes, I invite you to bring your hands into the heart center in Anjala Mudra to set an intention for your practice. It is intention that drives our actions, and it is these intentions we carry through our practice and take with us into our daily lives. All taking a deep breath in together and a slow exhale out. All of us swallowing at the back of our throats and fluttering the eyes open. Namaste, everyone. Again, welcome to Yoga with Anna, our midweek reset here at PCSM at the chapel. All right, so let's release our hands and take a moment here just to feel the palms of your hands on your lap. Sit up nice and tall, pull the navel in, let the crown reach up towards the sky. And as you inhale your next breath, take it nice and deep, and on the exhale, gently press the inner knees away from you. Gently. And then release. So a very subtle movement, but in this position, you could feel it in the hips. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, gently press down. Doesn't look like I'm doing anything, does it? But I am. So the hips are opening gently and slowly. And I've definitely brought that in today. Take another deep breath and do the same thing. Gently press into the knees, down towards the mat, towards the earth as you exhale. Is definitely having a grounding practice just as we begin and we flow through. All right, from here, let's release the hands. Take a moment here to lengthen through the crown. Bring the shoulders back and down. Inhale the arms over the head. Press the palms together and exhale, bring them down to heart. Inhale, let your palms rise up above the head, and you can take a gaze at the palms here. Then let's flip the palms gently, pressing everything away. Bring that left hand to ground on the mat and inhale that right arm up. Float that right arm down. Inhale, left arm rises. Let that right hand plant into the mat. Breathing and feeling that expansion in the left side body, and then gently float that arm down. Other side again, right arm over the right ear, stretch through the fingertips, extend the elbow. And up to you, we haven't quite warmed up in the shoulders or neck, but you can take that gaze up towards the sky. And then let's release. Bring that arm all the way down. Left arm rises over the left ear. Reach through the fingertips, extend the elbow. Gaze can go up towards the sky. And then on the next exhale, float your arm down, all the way down to the mat. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, flip the palms. Gently bring the arms down and back. Interlace the fingers. Feel those wrists reach towards the earth. Bring the shoulders back. Take the gaze upwards. On the next breath, take the exhale and begin to hinge at the hips forward. It's not as low as you can go. It's just a gentle hinge forward. Maybe lifting the arms off the back, or you can leave them down, pull them towards the earth. Inhale, come all the way back up, release the hands, arms float up to the sky, and exhale, flip the palms, we come back down. All right, we're gonna do a little rotation of the body within the pelvic bowl. So let's inhale and lengthen through the crown, pull the navel in, and begin to rotate the body. Any direction is fine as we get to both. Sync the breath with the movement. Inhaling as you come around, exhaling as you close the circle. One more round. Come to center, realign, take a deep breath, and on the exhale, rotate in the opposite direction. And then let's come back to center. Let's bring the knees up. Swing them around. Come to a tabletop. Shoulders are going to stack over the wrists. Hands are nice and wide, gripping your mat. Hips stack over the knees. Feet are flat. All right, let's begin to move the spine and warm up the spine. On the inhale, getting into a cat-cow sequence. Let's drop the belly and take the gaze up. On the exhale, tuck the tail and the chin's going to move towards the chest, rounding the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze up. Exhale, chin moves towards the chest, tucking the tail and rounding the spine. Press into the mat, press into the back of the spine. All right, find your rhythm with your breath. Inhaling as you shift into cow pose. Exhaling as you shift into cat pose. And then let's come back to center. Take a peek over that right shoulder and take a peek over to your right ankle. Come back to center. Take that gaze over to that left ankle. Left ankle. Sorry, after mirror teaching. All right. Teaching the right side. Come back to center. From here, shift the hips back towards the heels. Extend the arms forward. Come into a little child's pose. Ground the third eye. Few deep breaths here. Filling the belly. Slowing the exhale. As you take the inhale, feel that breath come to the backside body. Expand the rib cage. Next breath, let's lift ourselves up. Come back to table. Fingers are still nice and wide. Grip that mat with your palms. And then gently, again, take the gaze over to the right side, peeking at your feet or the back of the mat, and then come back to center and take it over to the left side. Come back to center, shift the hips back. Adjust your hands, maybe slipping them a little bit, sliding them a little bit forward, and then let's shift forward. Bring the hips towards the mat. Take the gaze up. Inhale, shift the hips back, extending the arms as you shift the hips towards the heels. Take a nice deep breath, shift forward, drop those hips towards the mat. Come back on the next breath, bringing the hips back towards the heels. And then I'm going to give you a moment here so you can feel free to move in your body. So I love adding these moments into my classes because it allows my students to close their eyes, get into their bodies, and move their bodies intuitively. So I'm going to begin, and I can guide you to begin, and then as you begin to move your body, you're going to just feel how your body wants to move. So I'm going to bring my hips around in a circular way, and you can begin that way, and then go in the opposite direction. You can take your hips to a figure 8, and come back. You can bend the elbows, extend the arms, you can round the spine, you can shift the arms and come into an extension. Not like a full up dog, but you can if you want. You can lift the knees. You can drop the knees, shift the hips. If you feel like getting into a down dog, by all means, shift the body. Just a couple more breaths here. And come back to table. All right. Let's open up our shoulders, the backs of the shoulders. Take an inhale and bring that right arm up, palm face out, reach up towards the sky, and then exhale. Float the arm down, bring it underneath the right arm. Extend that right arm forward. Bring the right temple down to touch the mat, or you can place a block to lift yourself if that's too intense. My right hand is palm up, left arm extended. Take a few breaths here just to settle into that opening of the shoulder. You can also feel it in the rib cage. And then begin to walk your left hand towards you to gently lift yourself up. Inhale that right arm all the way back up. Follow your palm with the gaze and then float the arm down on the exhale. Other side, inhale, left arm rises. Palm faces out, reach up, and then exhale, float the arm down, follow the palm with your gaze, and weave that arm underneath the right. Bring that left shoulder down, left temple down, extend the right arm forward. My left palm is up, left arm extended. If you have upper back, cervical issues, you might feel this. It's expanding the upper back. You can really feel the opening of the back shoulder and feel the space between the scapulas. And as you breathe and bring in that breath into that back rib cage, you can also really feel that there. So this is really loosening up the shoulders. And breathe deeply. And then let's walk that right hand towards us, gently lifting ourselves, inhaling that left arm up, palm faces out, reach up, and then exhale, bring that arm down, coming back to tabletop. All right, Let's extend that right leg up. Flex the foot. Extend the right leg back, flex the foot, and extend that left arm out. Pull the navel in. Gaze is at the top of the mat. Really press that right palm into the mat. And then bring everything back. Come back to table, then extend that left leg. Right arm reaches out. Pull the navel in. And then bring it all back. All right. Let's curl the toes under and come into a down dog. Lift the hips up towards the sky. Feel the heart reach towards your thighs. Remember to keep those hands nice and open, palms gripping the mat, fingers nice and wide. Take a nice deep breath. Bring the ears parallel to your biceps. And heels do not have to touch the mat. Let's walk our dog, lifting one heel after the other. Breathing nice and deep. Let's lift the heels up high, bend the knees, take a nice hover. And then let's walk our feet to meet our hands. Come into a forward fold. Again, breathing nice and deep. A nice, slow, rhythmic breath. Let your head hang, arms hang or dangle. You can grab elbow to elbow. Ragdoll, taking a little sway. And then release the hands. Bend the knees deeply, bring the hips down. Gaze forward and then bring the hips up, forward fold. Getting into the knees a little bit here. Deeply bend, bring the hips down, take the gaze forward, lift the chest, and then gently hinge forward, come back to your forward fold. Doing this again a couple more times, dropping the hips, lifting the gaze, and then lifting the hips back up, coming back into a forward fold. Last one, drop the hips down towards the heels, lift the gaze, and then gently come back to your forward fold. All right, so we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to bring our hands to our heels, and I'm going to grip my heels here. So basically, our chest is going to come towards our thighs, possibly touch. If there's a limitation with the reach towards the heels, you can place the hands on the backs of your legs, on the ankles. And then what we're going to do here is, as I grip my heels and tuck my elbows close to the body, I'm going to begin to bring my hips up and bring the crown of my head towards the earth, extending the legs, coming into a deeper forward fold. Now don't push yourself too hard here. Take it gently. Bring the forehead towards the knees. We're doing a really tight little ball here, but extending the legs. Press the knees back just as far as they are kindly to go. And then gently drop the hips, lift the gaze to the top of the mat, release the heels or the ankles, and come to your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, and then let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. All right, so let's come to the top of the mat. Feet are about hip distance apart. Let's come into a mountain pose. From the ground up, really feel the soles of your feet make contact. We're going to tighten and lift the quads up. As we do that, you're going to feel the instep of the feet the insteps lift, you're going to feel a slight movement of the glutes shifting down. So you feel that strength in the legs there. Arms by your side, palms face out. Let's bring the shoulders towards the ears and roll the shoulders back. Pull the navel in and up. The chest will rise. Mountain. Tadasana. Inhale, arms come up. Look up at the palms. Let's reach back. Exhale, flip the palms. You can soften the knees here as much as it feels good. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to a flat back. And then let's plant the palms. Bring both feet back and come into a plank. If the core is collapsing, bring your knees down. So what I mean by that is you always want to keep the navel tucked towards the back of the spine, and you want to press the heels back, right? Inner elbows are going to turn inwards towards each other. And here's our plank pose. Now, if while you're holding, the belly collapses, you're not holding in your navel anymore, bring the knees down. Because that's how you're training to pull your navel in. It doesn't matter that, you're lifting the knees and you're in this place. What matters is to do it properly, pulling the navel in so it doesn't collapse, and not being so hard on yourself because you're dropping your knees. Okay? So I'm going to leave my knees down. Take a nice deep breath in. Bring your feet flat. Lower the chest towards the mat and come all the way down. We're going to get into cobra pose. Hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. Chin is at the mat. Feet are about hip distance apart, or they can come together. Let's test where your hands are. And they should be underneath the shoulders. And once they're underneath the shoulders, the right position is not too far back and not too far forward. So you want to make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders and the fingertips peak just outside of your shoulders. And how do you do that? You bring your head to center and gently press the shoulder into the hand. Just I'm pressing my right one and then I'm pressing my left one. And I can see that my fingertips are peeking out from the top of my shoulders. So my hands are in the right position. So let's center. Micro adjust yourself. Tuck the elbows close to the body, so opening up the fronts of the shoulders. We're going to take a nice deep breath in and press all 10 toes. Lift the chest. Press the hips into the mat and come into cobra. Bhujangasana. And then lower down. Also, it's not how high you go. It's about keeping that length and lift, but not how high. You can be here and be in cobra. You can be here, you can be here. All right, next breath. Inhale. Press 10 toes in. Press the hips in. Lift the chest. Breathe normally. Tuck the elbows. And then gently come all the way down. So this is excellent for your back, lower back pain. And it might not feel so great now because it is a hard posture to do. And you feel it in the back, but it's really good for you. All right, so let's extend the arms out into a T. We're going to do a similar cobra movement where we're opening up the chest a little bit more. So on the inhale, press the 10 toes and lift the chest. Take the gaze up. And then exhale, we're going to float back down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift the chest. Take the gaze up and then gently lower down. Again, the fingers are tented and I'm just flowing up and down. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. This time, bring the hands forward. to rest on the forearms. We're going to go into a Sphinx pose. So my gaze is at the top of the mat for now, and as I take my breath in, I'm going to lift my gaze and press my heart forward, and I'm going to actually keep the gaze forward. Press all 10 toes and the hips into the mat. Ground in those forearms and those hands, and then release, come all the way down. Inhale, press all 10 toes, hips into the mat, and lift the heart. And then release, come all the way down. All right. Curl the toes under. Gently press yourself back to table. And then bring your hips up towards the sky. Curl the toes under. And lift your hips to get into down dog. From here, shift the weight forward, come to your plank. I'm going to lower my knees, pull your navel in, tuck the elbows, come all the way down, sweep up into an up dog, and then curl the toes under, come back to down dog, and let's walk our feet to meet our hands, come into a forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, and then let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Let your palms touch and palms come to heart. All right, let's do a little balancing pose. We're going to do tree pose. I love tree pose. Good weight bearing exercise, good for osteoporosis, good for balance, focus, and just all over goodness. Bring the hands to heart. Bring the gaze to a spot in front of you that isn't going to move. So that's where we improve our focus. Shift the weight of your body to that left leg. Activate the leg, nice and toned, lift the quad, and then kickstand that right foot onto the ankle, calf, or inner thigh. So if you're not comfortable lifting the foot up, you can ground toes until you feel comfortable enough to shift the sole of your foot to the ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Strength in that standing leg, contracting that quad. If you have the sole of the foot in the thigh, in the inner thigh, contracting that quad, pull the navel in, breathe normally, lift the chest, feel the length through the crown, towards the sky. And when you're ready, reaching up towards the sky, maybe expanding, playing with the balance by moving your arms with a smile. And then let's bring the hands back together. Bring them back to heart and release the leg. All right, shake it out if that feels good. So this is opening up that hip. So when you're placing your foot on your calf, ankle, calf, or inner thigh, you're letting that knee fall open. So that's what's helping the hip shift open this way. All right, so hands again at the heart center, feet about hip distance apart, taking that gaze into a focus and shifting the weight to that right leg. Keeping that leg nice and strong, activating that leg, pull the navel in, and then kickstand that left foot onto the ankle, calf, never the knee, or the inner thigh. Constantly contracting the quad, feeling the weight distribution through the entire sole of the foot. And if you wobble out, I got distracted, you just get back in. So that's where the practice of the gaze, practice of your focus, and you just get back in with a smile. All right, let's reach up once you have your balance. But really feel that weight distribution evenly throughout the foot. Keep that quad engaged. You can expand the arms, play with the balance. And then let's bring the hands back together. Hands come back to heart and release. Awesome. All right, let it go. All right, so I'm going to come back to the top of my mat. You're already there. Inhale, arms come up, look up the palms, let's reach back. Exhale, swan dive down for your forward fold. I'm going to get you into a chair pose. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. And then let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. Inhale the arms over the head again. Gaze is forward, arms are parallel to the ears. Feet are already in position. Let's sit in our chair. Breathe normally. Lift the chest. Tuck the tail. Sit a little lower. Extend those elbows. Shift the weight into the backs of the heels without lifting the toes. Lift the chest. Hands come back to touch. Bring them back to heart and forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, plant the palms. Take both feet back, come into your plank, and then lower down. Tuck the elbows, sweep up, come to your up dog, and then curl the toes under. Come back to your down dog. Walk or hop your feet to meet your hands, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. And let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. Second set. Inhale, arms come up parallel to the ears. Sit in your chair. Shift the weight to the heels. Ground those toes. Lift the chest, tuck the tail. Gaze is forward. Sit a little lower. Tuck the tail because it shifts. Lift the chest. Then let's press the palms together. Palms come to heart and let's forward fold. Release the hands. Inhale, hands on the shins. Lots of stuff going on in that chair pose. Heart rate's rising. Take a nice deep breath again and exhale, plant the palms. Bring both feet back to your plank. Press into your down dog. Take a nice deep breath in. High out. And then from here, let's bring the knees to the mat. Take them to the width of the mat. Let your toes touch. Hips shift back to the heels. Extended, wide-legged child's pose. Deep breaths. One more breath here. Walk your hands towards you. Bring the knees together. Shift the hips to the left side. Swing those legs around. And come to seated position. Knees bent. And from here, let's give a little rock and massage our lower back. Bring the knees closer to your chest. Gently lean back and begin to rock up and down, massaging the lower back. This is always fun. Breathing. If you just had lunch, I'm sorry. All right, from here, let's come to our backs. Full body stretch, arms and legs extend. Take a nice deep breath and then bring the knees to your chest. Give a nice tight squeeze. Bring the arms around, squeeze the knees. Tuck the chin, shoulders towards the mat. And then release. Place your hands on your knees and gently circle them around. Another little lower back massage. Go the opposite direction. And then extend the legs. Beautiful. All right. Let that right knee come in. Give it a nice squeeze. And then bring it across the body. Extend that right arm out to a half T, or you can do a full T. Gaze goes to the right fingertips. I'm letting my left hand rest on my knee and letting the natural weight and gravity to help me with the twist. All right, let's bring the knees back to center. Extend the leg, full body stretch, arms over the head. Bring that left knee in, take a nice squeeze, guide it across the body to the right side. Extend that left arm, take the gaze over to the left fingertips. Again, option to tee the arms or keep the right hand on the left leg and come back to center. Full body stretch again. And then float the arms down, keeping them palms up, going into Shavasana. Let the toes fall open. Letting your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Tuck the shoulders underneath the body and feel how the chest opens up when you do that. That really opens up the front of the chest, expands the arms out a bit more, and creates more room to breathe. Let your entire body relax, letting the hips feel heavy, your legs feel heavy. Notice if you're holding on to any tension and breathing into those spaces. Notice your jaw, letting it loose and softening the brow. Let your eyes sink and allowing yourself to go into a full deep body relaxation where the body can access its natural healing process by absorbing everything we've done. I will cue you out as I lift myself. You stay in Shavasana. Briefly reading here from the Radiant Sutras. A reminder to contemplate the entire universe as a magic show on the grandest scale imaginable. Fabulous art, an immense painting in motion. God is a magician. God is a magician whirling galaxies of fire, juggling atoms, planets, and us. Everything is fleeting. Meditating on the magic, great happiness rises in the heart. Beginning to bring awareness back into the body by wiggling your toes, bringing gentle movement in, wiggling your fingers, gently rolling over to your right side. And when you're ready, gently pressing yourself up with that left hand, coming all the way back to seated, joining me with your hands in prayer, inviting you to bring your hands up to your third eye with me as a reminder to think kind thoughts, down in front of our lips, as a reminder to speak kind words and back down in front of our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, grace, and inner strength. Thank you so much for letting me guide your practice this afternoon. Namaste, everyone. Have a great rest.